question that I often get asked is, what is leadership? And it's a great question that I've thought a lot about, and to me, ultimately, leadership is a decision. What does that mean? Well, each of us in our leadership roles really need to think hard about the roles that we have and make the conscious and deliberate decision to not only define ourselves as the leader, but also to show up in a very deliberate manner. And when I talk to a lot of great leaders, they'll say it's not a one-time decision. Many times throughout one's career, you'll be offered a new opportunity, a new role. And you don't just need to jump into that role without really thinking about what you're signing up for. And in my work, I've learned that there's really two types of leadership decisions. The first one I call big D decisions. The second one is small d decisions. Let's talk about big D decisions. Imagine you're being offered a new career opportunity, a new leadership role, one that you've maybe really wanted. What do? Just take that role? Or do you pause and think about what you're signing up for? It's a big D decision. Moments where you have to think about, what am I really signing up for? What are the expectations for this role? Am I prepared to do what's necessary to be successful in the role? These are moments where you really need to pause and think about what you're taking on. But many times leaders don't do that. We sort of jump into the role because we're excited about getting the new title, about maybe getting more money, getting some perks, maybe getting some more power. Those are all valid and legitimate. But if we do that without really thinking about the big D decision that we have to make, I don't believe we will be as successful as we need to be. So there are times in your career where you need to pause and make big D decisions. But leadership also plays out in very subtle ways day to day. And that's where the small D decisions come in. These are interesting because they're not as dramatic as the big D decisions, but they are as important, if not more important, than those big D decisions. The difference is that they are much more subtle, and they happen in very small ways throughout the course of us leading every single day. The challenge is, are you aware of those moments where you are being called upon to lead? Let me give you an example. Let's imagine that you've had one really tough week. It's been one problem after another, and now it's Friday, and you're feeling kind of tired, maybe a little weary. You've all been in that situation, I'm sure. And now you have one more meeting before your week comes to an end. Now in that meeting, something starts happening that's starting to bother you. Maybe the team is about to make a decision that's not aligned with your company's strategy. Maybe it's not in the best interest of your customer. Whatever it is, you are now challenging yourself. What do I do? Do I weigh in and challenge the team? Or do I let it go because I'm feeling tired and I've had a really long week? You may be inclined to just let it go because you think, you know what? It's not a big deal. It's just one small decision. It's not going to matter. But it actually will matter. And so you need to understand when those moments happen, and you need to be deliberate as a leader in those small D decision moments. Because all of these decisions, even though they're small, all connect to one another. And they determine the kind of leader you're going to be. Not just in those big moments, but in those small, subtle moments. The first term of the leadership contract says that leadership is a decision, and you have to make it. This means you have to be deliberate at those big D decisions, those moments in your career where you're about to take on a new leadership role, where you have to pause and think about what you're signing up for and making sure you're going to be a deliberate and accountable leader. But you also have to pay attention to those subtle moments, those small D decisions that occur many times every single day, where your leadership gets tested and how you handle yourself in those moments matter. Leadership is a decision. Make it.